It's Tuesday, it's Tuesday, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Get in here. Y'all know what we do on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we Homegirl Huddle. How are you? Tell me how you are. Tell me how you be. My hair is doing, I don't know what. But how are you? Tell me how you are. I am not going to try and butcher the first part of your name. I'm just going to refer to you as Renee. So, hey, Renee. Hey, in Legacy Co. Tell me how you are. Let's start this thing out with some celebrations. So, tell me what you are celebrating this week. What am I celebrating? I am celebrating really tuning in and honoring and taking care of my body. There has been so many amazing things. My glasses look crooked. That has been happening. And even still with all the amazing things that has been happening, I have just needed to take some time to and for myself. So that's what I'm celebrating. Tell me in the comments what you're celebrating, potentially what you are grateful for. And while you do that, I am going to properly get this thing started. So, hey homegirls, and welcome to my Homegirl Huddle. This is a safe space where we have sacred conversation about all things self-love, self-care, and self-mastery as it pertains to being a woman. This week is week 2 of our This is Self-Love 2 series. I'm super excited about what we're talking about tonight. What we're talking about tonight is how to take care of your body, or the fact that taking care of your body is self-love too. I know a lot of times when we think about taking care of our body, we automatically just kind of defer to working out or eating really strict. And it's just like, that's part of how you take care of your body, but it's not all of how you take care of your body. I think the biggest and most important part of taking care of your body is definitely building and having a relationship. So tell me in the comments, when you think of taking care of your body, what comes to mind? Tell me in the comments. When you think of taking care of your body, what comes to mind? I know, I feel like automatically we just go to eating healthy and working out. And that's good, but it also puts us in a space where we are only looking at our bodies as projects, as something to fix, as something to change. And that's a really rough way to be in relationship with your body. So again, tell me in the comments, when you think of taking care of your body, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Tonight, I hope I can do a really good job of helping you to see what it really means to take care of your body. We talked about this last week, and we talk about this a lot. I think sometimes we simplify loving ourselves to like external, surface level, superficial things. And loving yourself or loving your body is so much more than that. It's such a how do I say? It can be such a fulfilling experience, but sometimes we limit it to the external. So again, if you're watching or if you're watching the replay, tell me how you think of taking care of your body, and we'll keep going. So again, taking care of your body is not just working out and eating healthy or eating so that you lose weight for a trip. Let me think of some other things we do, or just like chugging down a gallon of water just because me or another coach told you to do it. It's so much deeper than that. What I want to show you how to do tonight is really build a relationship with your body. I don't know if you know it or not, but your body is literally the most sacred space you'll ever be in. And so it's very important that you have a relationship with it. You want to think of it like you would any other relationship. So in healthy relationships, there's communication. There's attention that's given to mental strength. Fall for you. I don't know what fall for you mean. I don't know what that means. But okay, mental strength, good. But yeah, and so it's so much deeper than that. Like I said, thinking of how you have a relationship with anything or anyone. A big part of that is listening, communicating, giving attention to, and caring for. And that's the same things you want to consider when you're practicing being in relationship with your body. Fall in love with you, learn how to show up for you. Absolutely, absolutely. Those are two good things. That's really good. So yeah, it's really treating your body like you would any other relationship that you have with somebody you really love and care about. And so in order to do that, you have to, first off, you have to get really good at listening to what your body is communicating. And I don't know if you know this, but your body is literally always communicating with you. It communicates when you have a headache. That's communication. When your face is breaking out, that's communication. When you eat foods that are not really in alignment with you, and as soon as you finish eating, you have what we know as the itis. That's communication. When somebody has cancer, that's communication. When you show up in a space and automatically your energy feels like zapped, or you talk to somebody on the phone and when you get off the phone with that person, you feel drained. All of this is communication. The problem is we don't take the time to listen to what our bodies are saying. And so it's just like as soon as you get a headache, what do? You pop an aspirin, you pop a BC, you pop a Tylenol, or whatever y'all take for headaches. And so it's just like I want you to get really good at listening to what your body is communicating. And so the next time you have a headache, don't just automatically pop the pill. Whenever you are, eating, that's also taking time to listen to your body. So instead of just like shoving food down your face and, next thing you know, you're finished and you have to unbutton your clothes because you're so stuffed. That tells me, and it also tells you that you're not listening to your body, because before you get to the point to where you're just stuffed and you're uncomfortable and you're miserable, you miss some cues along the way. You miss your body communicating and saying to you, I'm full. Before you get to the point to where you are having migraines that's so bad that you have to have surgery, that means you missed some steps along the way. There are some things that you weren't listening to. So it's just like, I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's just like a lot of times when you're having, experiences, and it's said that, first God speaks to you in a whisper, then in a speaking voice. And then all of a sudden you feel like life is hitting you upside the head with a 2x4. It's because you're not listening. And so it's the same thing with your body. Typically, like I said, your body is always communicating with you. You have to get really good at listening. I always tell the story of how, and it wasn't an accident, but I always tell the story of how I healed my painful menstrual cycle. And so it's just like I and many women in my family experience painful menstrual cycles. And so like I'm talking about debilitating cramps, like cramps so bad that I would either have to check out of school early or call out of work because I just couldn't function. And, I would go to the doctor and the doctor would tell me to do certain things, and none of what the doctor was saying worked. They wanted to put me on birth control, all the things. We're not doing any of that. So I had to literally get still and start listening to my body. My body communicated to me that, you should start fasting before, it's your time of the month. Or you should, change the type of feminine products that you're using, making sure you're using all natural products. And that plus some other things really got me to a space where now it's like 6-7 years later and I rarely have cramps. But that's because I understand, and this is what I want you to understand, taking care of your body is more than just working out and counting calories or macros. That's like the bare bones basics of taking care of your body. So the first thing you want to do to get in relationship with your body, because that's really how you take care of it, because it needs different things at different times. But if you're just doing what somebody else told you to do, that doesn't really do anything for you being in relationship with it. So you want to start listening to it. The next time you have a headache, don't just pop the pill. Like, take a second. Even if you still decide to take the medicine, I'm not saying like I'm against medicine, but even if you decide to take the medicine, give yourself a second before just defaulting to medicine and check in with your body. Ask it, what is it that you need to relieve yourself of this headache? If you are experiencing anything, it could be maybe you go to this one place all the time and it's somewhere that you have to go to, but every time you go to this place, you're tired, you feel drained, or every time you talk on the phone with this one person, you're tired, you feel drained. Ask questions. What is it that you need me to know? How can we approach this from a different way? I promise you, like you can take my word on this. You are going to get an answer. And then you have to start acting on those answers. Like I know the medical system has done a really good job of convincing us that sometimes our bodies attack us and they're against us. Never, not ever, is your body attacking or against you. Never. You just have to get really good at understanding what your body is actually communicating to you. So that's step number one in terms of learning how to take care of yourself in a way that allows you to practice self-love. The second thing, where's my notes? The second thing is, I know that in this day and age, us modern day women, we are always doing something, getting to the bag, reaching our goals, doing things with our kids, so on and so forth. Hear me when I say this. You do not have to earn the right to rest. How you take care of your body is also giving yourself permission and space to rest. Like, resting is necessary. It's not lazy. It's not being weak. It's not something that you have to be practically dying or sick to do. Like, you deserve rest, and allowing your body the time and the space to relax and rest and recharge, that's self-love. Like, if you think about anything, I'm talking about everything in life has a period of rest. Even if you think about nature, like these seasons that we're in right now, fall, winter, this is nature actually resting and recharging so it can come back renewed in the summer, in the spring, or the spring in the summer. Your body needs that same consideration. So, make it a habit to start resting and getting clear on what that looks like for you. Sometimes rest is not just about getting enough sleep. Like, sometimes rest is getting off of social media. There's so much that's going on in the world, and if you sit there and you're constantly consuming everything that's going on in the world, that's a lot on your mental and emotional health. So it's just like, sometimes rest is just getting off of social media, like really tuning in and being present with the things that are actually happening in your real life. Sometimes one of my favorite ways to rest is literally just going outside and like sitting by the lake. Like, it recharges me in a way that is just like, I feel like it's the best thing ever. So it's allowing yourself the space and the time to actually rest. Like I said, get out. You don't need a reason to take a break. You don't need a reason to rest. Like, you're not a machine. You're actually a living being. And so you definitely need time to rest and time to recharge. So maybe, ask yourself, what does that look like for me? Not just in an emergency when I'm sick and, like I can't go anymore, do anything more, but always, all the time. What does rest look like for you on a day-to-day basis? And it's giving yourself the space and the permission to experience that. Not because you're sick, not because you're so burnt out that you can barely function, but just because you love yourself enough to give yourself the space and the time to recharge so that you can be your best self. So we're going to keep going. This one is so good. I know that a lot of us who are into like fitness and health, and we like to look a certain way, when we think about food, we usually think about food from the perspective of supporting us in reaching our goals. But it's so much deeper than that. It's so much bigger than that. Like, food is literally energy. Food is literally Like it really is. What you eat can really be a form of like how you practice loving on yourself. And so when you're eating, you want to make sure you're giving yourself the best food. So I know we live in a microwave society. Trust me, I love convenience, but when it comes to food, I want the best of the best. And so it's taking time to consider what are the foods that are going to support me in looking the way that I want to look, if that's important to you, but also that's going to support me in feeling and being healthy. And so some things that you eat, you can think of, you can tell me in the comments, you can think of some things that you're eating that you know is not supporting you in being healthy. You know, but you haven't given yourself permission to I was going to say give up those things, but I've been coaching for long enough to know as soon as we try to restrict ourselves or give something up, it's like our mind wants that thing even more. So I want you to think about this strategy that I use a lot with my clients. And that strategy is called crowding. And essentially what you're doing is, I like to say, you're adding in so much good shit. It's so easy to get rid of the shit, the bad shit or the bullshit. So you're adding in, hey, Nikki. So you're adding in, you want to think of like lean protein. So when you think of lean protein, that's pink. You want to think pink meat. So red, anything that's red is not lean. So lean protein, you want to think of leafy, non-starchy green vegetables. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then complex carbs. And so you want, I'm going to say, this is so funny, but if it's white, it's not right. And I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about carbs. So you want to think of complex carbs. So brown, whole grain, and then sweet potatoes. And so what you want to do, instead of focusing on, oh, I'm not going to eat white bread, or oh, I'm not going to eat candy, or oh, I'm not going to have fried food. Don't focus on that. Just focus on adding in things that are going to satiate you, things that are going to make you feel full, things that are going to support you in being nourished. By the time you eat that, there's not going to be any room to eat the stuff that you know is not supporting you in looking or feeling good about yourself. So you want to practice eating in a way that is like you loving yourself. If you think about your kids, there is certain things that you are just not going to let your kids experience. There are certain things that you are just not going to expose your kids to. Why? Because it's your job to love and protect them. It's the same thing with your body. It's your job to love and protect your body. And so you want to treat it with care and kindness. So think about that even when you're eating. What are the things that I can eat that really will support me in loving and taking care of myself? You can also think of what you're eating as a way to express gratitude to your body. So like, I'm going to feed you these amazing things because thank you for, being healthy. Thank you for carrying me. Thank you for allowing me to walk around. Thank you for being, supporting me and being able to move. It's kind of like if you have like an amazing partner and you want to do something to show that person how much you appreciate them. And so you give them like an amazing gift, or you plan like an amazing trip, or you do something to really show how much you care about them and appreciate them. Do that with your body and do it through food. I promise you'll feel better because of it. The next thing is, I know that typically when we think about movement, especially if we're into fitness and working out and all the things, we're moving our body in a certain way to get a certain result. That's cool, but that cannot be the only way you look at moving your body, because even for me, like I've been working out for years, but there is literally some times when I just don't want to do it, or when I don't, like the goal is not that important to me. And so it's just like tapping into something else. And that something else can be using movement as a celebration of what your body can do. Like, I'm so thankful and grateful, even though, I don't consider myself to be old, but that I can walk. There's people my age who can barely move. They're, they're decrepit at my age. And so it's just like movement is a way of celebrating, what my body can do, what your body can do. Sometimes I take long walks just because I can walk, because there's certain people who can't walk. They were born and couldn't walk. And so instead of looking at your body or exercise as a punishment or just a means to get to a goal or to an end, look at movement as a celebration of what your body can do. And even beyond like your structured routine workout, taking time to move your body in a way that feels good. I swear to you, sometimes I literally just turn on music and just dance. And it's not like I'm dancing in a structured way, but just to whatever music or song I want to hear at the time. And it feels amazing. I love swimming. So sometimes, it's about to get cold, but sometimes I just get in the pool. Because again, I'm happy that I can move my body. I'm happy that I don't have any restrictions on what I can do in my body. And so movement is not punishment. It's not a means to get your stomach flat. It's not just that. It's not, you pushing yourself to, reach your personal record from the day before. That's part of it, but it can't. If that's the only thing that you're focusing on, that is not sustainable. And it's also not a way that you practice loving yourself. Imagine if you were in a relationship and in that relationship, you only focused on what you were getting from the relationship. Nobody wants a transactional relationship. Like, you want a reciprocal relationship. Like, you want to give and you want to receive. So your body is supporting you in moving. The least you can do is, move it in a way that supports you in celebrating and acknowledging it. It may sound weird, but I promise you it works. And it feels so much more fulfilling to actually have a relationship with your body versus just kind of going from goal to goal. Trust me, at some point, like once you get to where you want to be in your body, it's not really that exciting. It's not that exciting. It's just like, I did it. Like, okay, I'm fine. And I'm maintaining and I'm doing the things that's going to support me and continuing to look like this. But it's just like you have to find another why. And so celebrating your body can definitely be another why. So think about the ways that you actually enjoy moving your body. And it doesn't have to be anything, specific to anybody else. It's for you. So if you like dancing, dance. If you like to take long walks, take long walks. If you like to stretch and do yoga, stretch and do yoga. If you like to hula hoop. Like, there's so many different ways you can move your body. If you like to ride your bike or to do like cycling classes, do more of the movement that actually feels good to you. And then I think the last thing is the most important. I say this so many times, and I'm going to say it again. Your body is literally the most sacred space you'll ever be in. You have to learn how to treat it as such. And so you have to get really intentional about the environments that you're spending time in. Like, that impacts your body. And environments from a lot of different perspectives. Like, what type of cleaning products are you using? Like, what type of candles and scented products are you using? Is that the best thing for your body? What type of clothes are you wearing? I just told you in the beginning of this that part of how I healed my my painful menstrual cycle is by changing the feminine products that I was using. And so you have to get really clear on the environment that you're in, because that is impacting the relationship that you have with your body. And yes, environment meaning like physical space, but also the people that you are around. I said this earlier, like you talking to somebody and every time you talk to this person, you feel drained. That's your body communicating to you. That person may not be the best fit for you. Or at the very bare minimum, the conversation that you're having may not be the best conversation for you. And so you have to learn how to pay attention to that. And you have to put yourself in spaces that are actually beneficial to you, that are actually fulfilling to you, that are actually energizing to you. So when you go into spaces now moving forward, pay attention to A, how you feel when you enter into those spaces, and then B, pay attention to how you feel when you're exiting the space. If you feel drained after you leave, if you feel icky after you leave, if all of a sudden you're frustrated and tight and tense and angry, that's your body communicating to you. You have, when I tell you it is imperative that you learn how to listen, it is imperative that you learn how to listen. I know people say it all the time, oh, fuck feelings. No, don't do that. Do not do that. Your feelings are communicating to you. I'm not suggesting that you be overwhelmed or overtaken by your feelings. Yes, manage your emotions, absolutely. But feel them also. Because feeling them is allowing you to understand what they're actually communicating. Sadness is not bad or wrong. It's literally communication. Anger is not bad or wrong. It's literally communication. Usually when you're angry, that is an indication that a boundary has been crossed. It's not bad. That's letting you know where you may need to tighten up on your boundaries, or is an indication that you feel offended in some way. And even if that's the case, it's still communication. So maybe there needs to be a conversation that needs to be had with whoever, whatever you're being triggered by. Even jealousy is not a bad, or envy, it's not a bad emotion. There's nothing wrong with it. It's literally just communication. And a lot of times, jealousy is, communication that somebody has something that you desire, but for whatever reason, you feel incapable of creating it or having it. It's not bad. It's not wrong. It's just communication. Sometimes it's what we do in response to the emotions or in response to the communication that is sometimes considered bad. But just feelings, not bad at all. And so it's okay. It's okay to trust what you feel. So many times, especially in dating situations, just the feeling alone helped me to make the right decision. I get guys all the time and they're like, oh, well, you didn't give me your number, or you didn't let me take you out. I don't need to. The energy is off. That's a no for me. No hard feelings. You totally may not be a bad person, but I trust what my body is communicating to me. And if I feel this icky in your energy, it's no way I'm going to be around you in person. For what? There's no need for me to subject myself to that. So again, taking care of your body is self-love too. It's not just about, restricting your calories and doing a super intense workout. It's really about having a relationship with your body, paying attention to what it's communicating, taking care of it. And the best way to take care of something is to get to know it. It's just like if you're in a relationship, you cannot take care of or show up for the person you love if you don't know them. And we do, I've done that before. We do that a lot in relationships with people. We give them what we think they should have versus taking the time to get to know them and giving them what they need, what they want, what they desire. That's how you love somebody. It's just I don't know if y'all are familiar with love languages, but it's just there's, 5 love languages. If my love language is words of affirmation, or if my love language is, acts of service, you can buy me gifts all day long. I may appreciate the gifts, but that's not really how I am receiving love. And it's probably not going to hit the same. So it's the same thing with your body. You have to take the time to get to know it. So listen to it. Spend time with it. Ask it questions. Again, this may sound weird, but I promise you, if you ask questions, you are absolutely 100,000% going to get answers. And those answers is how your body is communicating with you. It's how it teaches and tells you what it needs more or less of. You have to get still and listen. You have to. I know I said a lot. And I always say a lot, but I think, like I said, it's really, really important that you get this. Your body is not a project to fix. It's not. It's not a project to fix. Again, your body is the most sacred space you'll ever be in. And so it is important that you take the time to be in relationship with it. That's how you practice self-love in terms of taking care of your body. Because it's not going to always be the same thing. When before daylight savings time, one of my favorite ways to decompress was taking a walk at the end of my day. Like once I've already wrapped up, like my clients, my sessions, all the things. Well, it gets pitch black by 6 o'clock. It looks like it's midnight. And so I can't take walks anymore. And so what I've switched that out with is taking cold showers in the morning. What I've switched that out with is shaking and meditating. Those are other ways for me to decompress. But you see what I'm saying? If I didn't have a relationship with my body, if I wasn't listening to how it's communicating, I wouldn't know to change what I'm doing based on the season that I'm in. I would just keep doing the same thing, hoping that it works. And then maybe also making myself out to be a bad person, or I'm failing, or it's not working. Yeah, it's not working because your body has communicated to you that it needs something different. If you're always stressed, that says that you need to figure out better ways to manage your stress. I personally don't believe that you can just get rid of stress. We all have stress, and some stress is actually good for you. So it's figuring out like how to actually manage the stress. How do you manage it? Like, what do you need to do in this season to take care of yourself? You can look it up on Google. You can even look it up on ChatGPT. But those are answers that come from outside of you. They may or they may not work. I guarantee you the answers that are going to work is the answers that come from within you. And so you, again, have to, if you're going to take care of your body as a practice of self-love, you have to really get good at listening to it and responding to the communication that it's sharing with you. I said this in the beginning. The headache, communication. Acne, communication. Always being tired, communication. Getting the itis after you eat, communication. Always needing something sweet after you eat, communication. Going into environments where you feel like crap after you leave, communication. It's always communicating. You just have to start listening. So I want you to tell me in the comments, based on what I said, I've shared a few things with you. I'll go back through them. So when it comes to taking care of your body as a practice of self-love, one of the best things you can do, which I've talked a lot on this one, is listen to what it's saying. Listen to what it's communicating. The second thing is making time for rest. Rest is not a luxury. It's not a weakness. It is a necessity. It is how you support yourself in being whole and being well and recharging. That. Third thing is using food as fuel, using food as love. I tell the story so many times. I can literally remember the last time I went to McDonald's. I can remember. And this has been over, I don't think I've eaten McDonald's since like 2013, maybe. It's been a while. But I can remember going to McDonald's and the girl who took my order was like so rude. And I was just like, this is it. Like, I don't want this angry food. Like, I don't want to go anywhere that I have to worry if somebody's going to do something to my food, because they are so disgruntled, not necessarily with me, but with the experience they're having, the job or whatever. It's just like, I don't want to put that type of energy in my body. But food is energy. And so when you're selecting your foods, you want to keep that in mind. If you eat low vibrational foods, well, you know what they say, you are what you eat. So you want to really consider what it is that you're putting into your body. That's how you take care of your body as a practice of self-love, not punishing your body with diets because you're trying to go on a vacation. Let's make better decisions. Last two things is, moving your body as a form of celebration versus movement as punishment. Okay, I ate this, chocolate cake. Now I'm going to go run on a treadmill for an hour. That is not sustainable. Again, your body is not a project to be fixed. It is something to love. Like, you want to get in relationship with your body. That's very abusive to treat your body that way. And then the last thing is, be in environments that support you in having a healthy relationship with your body. And so environments can be the space that you live in, like making sure it's clean and it feels warm and inviting to you. It also can be spaces that you're actually going into. Again, if you go into a space and you feel icky, you feel tired, you feel anxious, you feel frustrated, that's an indication that may not be the best space for you. Even think about like people you're talking to or people you hang out with. If you always feel away after you hang out with a certain person, this is not to say that they're a bad person, but that may not be the best fit for you because your body is communicating that by how it's responding to them. So that's it. That's all I got tonight. What I would encourage you to do is, out of the 5 things I've shared in terms of how to take care of your body in a way that is, supporting you in practicing self-love. I say this all the time. Self-love is not something you do to fix yourself. It's not. It doesn't require you to be perfect. Self-love is literally the daily practice of accepting, honoring, and taking care of yourself. That's what it is. You don't get days off. You literally have to do it for the rest of your life. And so I am doing this 5-week series. We're on week 2 to support you in understanding how to actually love yourself. So many times people, it's really trendy and popular these days, but people tell you, oh, love yourself. Like, that's the solution. Love yourself. It's the biggest middle finger of all time. Love yourself. It's a revolution. And it's just like, yeah, but how? How do I actually do it? Well, this is one way you do it, is by remembering that taking care of your body is self-love too. Self-love is not a journey. There is no, I don't care what anybody says, there's no 7, 21, 30, 90-day plan to self-love. It does not exist because self-love is not a destination. It is literally a lifelong journey. Every day you have to wake up and practice it. Every day. And so taking care of your body is a way that is going to support you in actually loving yourself. And when you really learn how to love yourself, it transforms everything. I mean, everything. How much money you make, the type of relationships you're in, how confident you feel about yourself, how your body looks, everything. Your relationships with yourself and other people. Ultimately, it transforms your life. And so it's not, how do I say? Yes, it's not, this is not optional. Like, loving yourself is not optional. It's not like, okay, maybe I'll take the red heels or the black ones. It's not optional. Like, you must learn how to love yourself. You have to. Again, this is why I started this series, is because, like I said, I feel like so many times everybody is, oh, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. But nobody is saying how to actually do it. And so as a coach, that's exactly what I teach. Practical self-love. It's teaching you the everyday practical things that you can do that is really going to support you in loving yourself better. And most importantly, changing the relationship that you have with yourself. That's literally the foundation of every relationship. But if you don't know how to actually do it, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel intimidating. It can feel frustrating because it's just like, okay, well, yeah, I can tell by, looking at my life and my relationships that I can afford to love myself a little bit better. But then it's just like, well, how do I actually do it? This is why I'm doing this series. Last week, we talked about letting go of limiting beliefs. That's self-love too. And this week, we talked about taking care of your body. That is self-love too. It's not just getting your hair done or putting on makeup or hanging out with your friends, getting a mani and a pedi. That's cute. And it definitely has its time and its place. But self-love is so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. And so if you are a woman who is wanting to redefine how you love and take care of yourself, I want to offer you something that I know is going to, like I said earlier, transform your habits, your body, your relationships, and ultimately your life. I want to invite you into my private online community where I teach you step by step how to actually love yourself and love yourself in a way that transforms you from the inside out. On Mondays, we focus on, we have mindset and emotional well-being coaching. This is where we're focusing on the internal transformation, how you're thinking about yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you see yourself, because ultimately that is what determines what you do or what you don't do. If you don't change those things, losing weight, making more money, having healthier relationships, all the things, it's going to be very difficult for you, because essentially what's happening is you're working against who you believe yourself to be. And so you have to change what you're thinking, how you're speaking, how you see yourself, so that you can it's easier and more sustainable to do the things that helps you to get the external results that you're wanting. Tuesday through Thursday is when we actually work out. We have a private ladies only Facebook community where we have challenges, there's giveaways, there's nutritional coaching. I like to say it really shows the power of sisterhood and community, which is really, really important on any journey, but it really shows you the power of it. And so sometimes inside of the community, you're the woman that's pouring. Sometimes you're the woman that's being poured into, but that is the reciprocal power of community and support and sisterhood. If you're wanting to learn how to love yourself in a way that really transforms you from the inside out, and it's not just some ambiguous, like, oh, you should love yourself type of a thing, you definitely want to join my community. And because you are a homegirl, I want to offer you a homegirl cousin kind of a discount into the community. So if that's you, do yourself a favor, comment homegirl in the comments, and then I'll be sure to DM you to tell you how you can not miss out on this incredible price and this incredible opportunity. Because it's not just about the price. It's about the fact that you are really going to be supported in feeling more confident, transforming your body, deepening your relationships, speaking more positively to yourself. Ultimately, like I keep saying, changing your life. Because you deserve that. You deserve to live a life that is fulfilling, that you can be proud of, that you get excited to wake up in the morning. You know? So comment homegirl and I will slide in your DMs and tell you exactly what you need to do to become a part of this amazing community. And then outside of that, y'all know I say this all the time. I get on here because I love conversation. It's really my thing. But it is pointless for you to get on here or watch the Homegirl Huddle replay and listen to everything I say and just listen. That's not how you change your life. You have to actually apply it. I say this all the time. Knowledge is not power. It's not. Knowledge is only power if you know how to apply what you know. That's it. And so I want you to think of something that I shared tonight, and I want you to take that and put it into practice over the next week. I won't see you again in this space until next Tuesday, but take something I said, Put it into practice and pay attention to how much differently you feel as a result of it. And then when we come back next week, we'll start this thing off like we always do, which is with what you're celebrating. And I want to hear how something that I shared tonight is actually impacting you. So that's it. That's it. That wraps our Homegirl Huddle. As I say all the time, make sure you move your body. Love yourself. Know what you want. Go get it and go give it. And as always, tell a homegirl, bring a homegirl, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, homegirls.